If you've come across this message, take a moment to recognize that it's not a coincidence. The fact that you are here, right now, is a sign that something within you is shifting. This isn't just another video. It's a reflection of your energy, a confirmation that you are on the verge of stepping into a new timeline. Synchronicities like this don't happen randomly. They occur when your frequency begins to align with a new version of yourself, creating moments where reality sends you signals that you are in motion. The universe mirrors back to you the vibration you are holding, and right now, it is reflecting the fact that you are close to something significant, a shift into a version of reality where your desires are already unfolding. Understanding this requires breaking free from the linear way of thinking that most people are conditioned to believe. The idea that change happens gradually, that you must struggle and work for a long time before you see results, is an illusion of the 3D world. In truth, reality is fluid, and shifts happen in an instant when your alignment is strong enough. The very fact that this information resonates with you means you are already in the process of shifting. Many people would come across a message like this and dismiss it, not because they aren't capable of shifting, but because they aren't yet aligned with the version of themselves that is ready to see the truth. You, however, are here, paying attention, open to the idea that reality is far more flexible than you've been taught to believe. That alone is proof that you are in motion. The key now is to recognize and reinforce this shift. Your awareness of this moment shows that you are stepping closer to a reality where your highest potential is being realized. But awareness alone isn't enough. What you do next determines whether you fully step into the timeline that is waiting for you. In the next segment, we'll go deeper into the nature of parallel realities and how every possible version of your life already exists. The shift isn't about hoping or waiting. It's about tuning into the frequency of the life you want. And right now, you're already on your way. To fully grasp why you are already in the process of shifting, you first need to understand the true nature of reality. Most people believe that time is linear and that change happens gradually through effort, struggle, or external circumstances shifting in their favor. But in truth, reality operates more like an infinite set of frames, each one a different version of the present moment. These frames are all existing simultaneously, each representing a unique timeline. Think of it as a vast ocean of possibilities. Every possible version of your life, from the most ordinary to the most extraordinary, already exists in its own reality. You are not creating something new. You are simply moving your awareness from one version of yourself to another. The version of you who has already achieved your desires is not in the distant future. It is already real, existing as one of these frames. Your consciousness acts as a tuner, selecting which version of reality you experience. Most people unknowingly lock themselves into a single version of reality by reinforcing their current beliefs, emotions, and perceptions. They wake up each day expecting things to be the same, emotionally reacting to the same circumstances, and unconsciously confirming the limitations of their current timeline. As a result, they continue looping through the same reality, unaware that an entirely different version of their life is accessible. The key to shifting is not waiting for reality to change, but realizing that the shift happens within you first. Your external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. The thoughts you focus on, the emotions you embody, and the beliefs you reinforce are the signals that determine which timeline you are tuning into. Right now, you are already in motion. The fact that you are drawn to this message is an indication that your consciousness is reaching for a higher version of your reality. The only thing left is to stabilize this shift by deliberately aligning with the frequency of your desired timeline. In the next segment, we'll explore the subtle signs that indicate you are already stepping into this new timeline. These are shifts in perception, energy, and experience that confirm your reality is changing, even before physical proof appears. When you begin aligning with a new timeline, the shift doesn't always happen in obvious or dramatic ways. Many people expect instant physical proof, but in reality, the first signs of change are often subtle. If you're paying attention, you'll notice shifts in your perception, emotions, and experiences, indicators that your consciousness is tuning into a different version of reality. One of the most common signs is a sense of detachment from your past identity. You may find that certain old habits, beliefs, or even relationships no longer feel aligned. Things that once triggered strong emotional reactions may no longer affect you in the same way. This is because you are no longer reinforcing the same version of yourself. You are in the process of stepping into a new identity that resonates with your desired timeline. Another key indicator is an increased sense of clarity and inner knowing. You might suddenly have insights or realizations that make everything seem more obvious. You may start seeing through old limitations that once felt real, recognizing that they were simply reflections of the timeline you were previously aligned with. This is your consciousness adjusting to a new frequency where expanded perspectives become accessible. Your external world may also start reflecting subtle but noticeable shifts. You might experience unexpected synchronicities, such as seeing repeating numbers, overhearing conversations that confirm your thoughts, or encountering opportunities that align perfectly with your desires. These moments are not coincidences. They are markers that your energy is shifting and reality is adjusting accordingly. Additionally, you may notice changes in the way time feels. When you're moving into a new timeline, time can feel either accelerated or slowed down. You may find yourself having vivid dreams that seem to carry messages or experiencing déjà vu more frequently. These are signs that your awareness is adjusting to a different vibrational state, and you're in the process of integrating a new version of reality. What's most important during this phase is not to doubt the process. Many people experience these shifts but second-guess themselves, thinking it's all in their head. However, by recognizing these signs and reinforcing the alignment, you solidify your shift into the desired timeline. Recognizing that you are shifting timelines is one thing, but ensuring that you continue moving toward your desired reality requires deliberate focus. Many people experience initial signs of alignment, only to unconsciously slip back into their old patterns. The key to solidifying your shift is learning how to stabilize it, making your desired timeline the dominant frequency you resonate with. The most crucial factor in maintaining this shift is where you place your focus. Your attention is the steering wheel of your consciousness. If you continue to observe and react to your current circumstances, you reinforce them, keeping yourself locked in the same timeline. On the other hand, when you deliberately focus on the thoughts and behaviors of the version of yourself already living in your desired reality, you strengthen that alignment and allow the shift to continue. This is why many spiritual teachings emphasize acting as if, not pretending, but genuinely embodying the energy of the timeline you want to experience. If you were already in your desired reality, how would you think? How would you carry yourself throughout the day? The more consistently you align with these internal states, the more naturally your external reality will follow suit. Another key to stabilizing the shift is consistency in action. Many people revert to their previous timeline because they fall back into old habits that reflect their former reality. Shifting isn't just about visualization or energetic alignment. It's about how you move through your daily life. If you continue making choices based on your past self, you reinforce that version of reality. But when you start acting in ways that match your desired timeline, those behaviors strengthen your alignment and make the shift more permanent. Your daily habits also play a critical role. The more frequently you engage in practices that reinforce your alignment, the more stable your shift becomes. This can be as simple as beginning your day by affirming your new timeline, using visualization to immerse yourself in it, or surrounding yourself with stimuli that reflect your desired reality. Small, intentional choices compound over time, helping to anchor your consciousness in the new frequency. Another important factor is your relationship with your past identity. Many people unknowingly stay tethered to an old version of themselves, holding on to familiar thought patterns and behaviors even when they no longer align. If you find yourself slipping into old habits, ask yourself, does this action or thought belong to the version of me who has already shifted? If not, consciously choose differently. Physical reality will always reflect the vibration you hold most consistently. This is why small, daily shifts matter more than big, temporary efforts. You don't need to take drastic action to prove something is working. Instead, focus on making small adjustments in your thoughts and behaviors that keep you aligned. The more natural this becomes, the more stable your shift will be. Emotions are the most powerful force in shifting timelines. While thoughts and actions play a role, emotions determine how deeply you align with a new reality. Every timeline vibrates at a specific frequency, and the emotions you cultivate act as the key that locks you into that vibration. If your emotions remain tied to your current circumstances, you continue reinforcing the same reality. But if you learn to shift your emotional state first, you naturally step into a timeline that reflects that state. Most people approach manifestation in reverse. They wait for external changes before allowing themselves to feel good. But emotions are not a reaction to reality. They are the blueprint that reality follows. If you wait for success before feeling confident, or wait for abundance before feeling secure, you keep yourself locked in a timeline where those things remain just out of reach. Instead, the key is to generate the emotions of your desired reality before it materializes. Shifting emotions isn't about forcing positivity or suppressing what you feel. It's about developing emotional flexibility, the ability to consciously cultivate the emotional states that match your desired timeline. This means training yourself to feel secure even when your current reality suggests otherwise, to feel grateful before anything big happens, and to feel confident before external success arrives. One of the most effective ways to do this is through emotional recall, consciously summoning past experiences that align with your desired state. If you're shifting to a timeline of abundance, recall a time when you felt completely supported, even in a small way. If you want to embody love, think of a moment when you felt deeply connected. Your mind and body don't differentiate between past experiences and present emotions when you fully immerse yourself in a feeling. Another powerful tool is conscious emotional activation, deliberately engaging in activities that evoke your desired emotions. Listen to music that makes you feel empowered, move your body in a way that shifts your energy, or watch something that uplifts and inspires you. By consistently triggering these emotions, you create momentum that stabilizes your shift. What matters most is consistency. You don't need to hold these emotions 24/7, but the more frequently you return to them, the more you reinforce the vibration of your desired timeline. With time, these feelings become second nature, and your reality adjusts accordingly. External changes may not be immediate, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening. Just as a seed doesn't sprout the moment it's planted, your shift is unfolding beneath the surface. The key is to maintain your emotional alignment regardless of what you see. If you drop back into old emotional patterns because nothing has changed yet, you disrupt the process. But if you hold your state despite external circumstances, reality will eventually catch up. This is why emotional mastery is essential in shifting timelines. When you no longer let circumstances dictate how you feel, you reclaim your power as the creator of your reality. This is not about pretending or forcing anything. It's about choosing to embody the energy of your desired reality now, so that it naturally becomes your experience. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to shift timelines is holding on too tightly, constantly looking for proof, doubting the process, or trying to control every detail. But paradoxically, the more you chase a shift, the more you reinforce the reality where you don't have it. Letting go is the key that allows the shift to fully unfold. Most people approach shifting like gripping a rope and pulling with all their strength, hoping reality will move faster. But true transformation happens when you loosen your grip and allow reality to flow naturally. If you're constantly checking whether your shift has worked, you're actually sending out the energy of waiting, reinforcing the timeline where change hasn't yet occurred. Instead, you must release the need for immediate confirmation and trust that the shift is already in motion. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on your desires. It means releasing the emotional attachment to how and when they will manifest. If you keep fixating on the when, you remain locked in the version of you that is waiting. But the version of you living in the desired timeline isn't waiting. They are simply being. The more you embody that presence, the faster reality adjusts. A major part of releasing attachment is shifting from forcing to allowing. Many people believe they must take endless action to make something happen, but excessive effort often comes from a place of fear. Fear that without constant striving, nothing will change. True alignment comes when you trust that your energy is enough. Inspired action still plays a role, but it arises naturally when you are in flow, not from a place of anxiety or control. Another way to release attachment is to stay present. The need to control the future comes from resistance to the present moment. But all shifts happen now, not in some distant future. When you relax into the present, you create the space for transformation to unfold. This doesn't mean you stop visualizing or aligning with your future self. It means you do it from a place of knowing rather than desperation. Releasing attachment also means letting go of old identity patterns. The version of you that worries, doubts, and waits belongs to the old timeline. By catching yourself in these patterns and choosing a different response, you actively shift your state. Ask yourself, how would the version of me who has already shifted think, feel, and act? Then, embody that as best as you can, without overanalyzing whether it's working. Trusting the process is about surrendering control, not abandoning your vision. When you let go of attachment, you give reality the space to rearrange itself in ways your mind couldn't predict. The shift is already happening. Your only job is to remain in alignment long enough for it to fully materialize. Everything you've done up to this point has been leading you to a powerful realization. Your shift is already happening. The fact that you were drawn to this message, resonated with these concepts, and recognized yourself in this process is proof that you're aligning with a new timeline. The key now is to fully step into it, without hesitation or second-guessing. Shifting timelines happens naturally when you maintain the energy of your desired reality. It's not about waiting for signs or questioning whether you're doing it right. Every choice you make, every belief you reinforce, and every emotion you cultivate determines which timeline you stabilize into. The more you embody the energy of your desired reality, the less you will feel like you're trying to shift because you are already there. If you've ever felt stuck before, it wasn't because change wasn't possible. It was because you kept reinforcing your current timeline through your focus, emotions, and actions. But now, you understand how to shift intentionally. You no longer need to wait for external validation, nor do you need to analyze every moment for proof that it's working. The signs are already there, and your only task is to keep moving forward with confidence. The final step is commitment, not to effort or struggle, but to fully embodying the version of yourself who already lives in your desired timeline. Acting, thinking, and feeling from that place of certainty is what solidifies the shift. The more you normalize this energy, the more seamless the transition becomes. This is the moment to trust yourself and the process. Your reality is adjusting, responding to the energy you hold most consistently. You are no longer trying to create change, you are living it. The more you relax into this knowing, the more your external world will reflect the shift. The universe has already set things in motion. Your desired reality isn't distant or out of reach. It's available now, waiting for you to align with it fully. Trust in what you've already set into motion, and know that the shift is unfolding exactly as it should.